The only thing better than winning one championship is two. Over the years, a select few superstars have been able to win more than one piece of gold at a time. On top of that, the majority of them were able to shoulder the colossal burden of defending two belts separately.
Since the first double champion 44 years ago, there have been a total of 46 occasions where a WWE superstar has been able to win and defend two separate titles. Let's take a look at every single one of them.
A quick note before we begin, we will only be looking at wrestlers who won and defended more than one title separately, so we will not be counting any unified reigns or wrestlers who held two physical belts but defended them as one. Sorry, Roman Reigns.
That aside, these are some of the voices of weird wrestling trivia, and here is every WWE double champion in chronological order.
Number 1. Bob Backlund, WWF Champion and World Tag Team Champion, 9th of August 1980. The second longest reigning WWE Champion in history, Bob Backlund also became the company's first ever double champion. Winning the World Tag Team titles with Pedro Morales, the duo would immediately relinquish the tag belts, as it was not common at the time for champions to defend more than one belt at a time.
Number 2. The Ultimate Warrior, WWF Champion and Intercontinental Champion, 1st of April 1990. One of WWF's most popular stars in the late 80s and the early 90s, the Ultimate Warrior had established a solid reign for himself as Intercontinental Champion. However, one title would not be enough for the Warrior, as he would soon cross paths with then WWF Champion Hulk Hogan. At WrestleMania 6, both men would wrestle in the main event with both titles on the line, and the Warrior would win. Like Bob Backlund before him, the Warrior would vacate his IC title to focus on being the WWF World Champion.
Number 3. Diesel, Intercontinental Champion and World Tag Team Champion, 28th of August 1994. Quickly establishing himself as one of WWF's most dominant rising stars, Diesel would defeat Razor Ramon for the Intercontinental title. 4 months later, Big Daddy Cool would team up with Shawn Michaels to win the World Tag Team titles from the Head Shrinkers at a house show. The next night at SummerSlam, Diesel will walk out with both the IC and tag belts, becoming the first double champion to not immediately vacate one of his titles. Unfortunately for him, he would lose the Intercontinental title back to Razor Ramon that same night.
Number 4 and number 5. 2 Dudes with Attitudes, WWF Champion, Intercontinental Champion and World Tag Team Champions, 24th of September 1995. A doubleheader here. By 1995, Diesel had moved up to the main event and won the WWF title. His former tag partner, Shawn Michaels, would win the Intercontinental Championship, and the two would reunite. Taking on then tag champions Owen Hart and Yokozuna, Diesel and HBK would pick up the victory, turning 2 Dudes with Attitudes to 2 chaps with all the straps.
Number 6. The British Bulldog, European Champion and World Tag Team Champion, 26th of February 1997. No stranger to both tag team and single success, the British Bulldog will win the tag titles with his brother-in-law Owen Hart in September 1996. 4 months later, however, the two brothers-in-law and co-champions would find themselves wrestling each other to crown the first ever European champion. Bulldog would win the match and become a double champion, but Owen would follow close behind. Number 7. Owen Hart, Intercontinental Champion and World Tag Team Champion, 28th of April 1997. Already a 2-time tag champion, Owen Hart would become his 3rd tag title win with his brother-in-law, the British Bulldog. While Owen would fail to beat the Bulldog for the European title, he would win the Intercontinental Championship in April 1997, joining his brother-in-law as a double champion and bringing one more belt back to the Hart Foundation.
Number 8. Steve Austin, Intercontinental Champion and World Tag Team Champion, 3rd August 1997. A rising anti-hero in the WWF, Steve Austin would win the tag titles with Shawn Michaels. When HBK got suspended before a title defense against the British Bulldogs and Owen Hart, Austin would keep the belts with Dude Love as his partner. At SummerSlam 1997, Austin would challenge Owen Hart for the IC title, despite suffering a broken neck during the match. Stone Cold was still able to win the belt, becoming a double champion in the process. However, due to his injuries, Austin would have to relinquish both his titles not long after.
Number 9. Shawn Michaels, WWF Champion and European Champion, 9th November 1997. By 1997, Shawn Michaels had achieved his dream of becoming WWF Champion. However, during a brief time when he was out of the world title scene, Michaels would challenge the British Bulldog for the European Championship at one night only. HBK would beat the Bulldog and become the first ever Grand Slam champion before setting his sights on the WWF title once again. Beating Bret Hart in the infamous Montreal Screwjob at Survivor Series 1997, the Heartbreak Kid would reign as a double champion for the next month and a half.
Number 10. Steve Austin, WWF Champion and World Tag Team Champion, 26th of July 1998. By the time WrestleMania 14 had come and gone, Stone Cold Steve Austin had taken his rightful spot as WWF Champion and face of the company. Naturally, it was only a matter of time for the Texas Rattlesnake to work alongside the company's top veteran, The Undertaker. Meeting Kane and Mankind for the World Tag Team Championships at Fully Loaded 1998, Austin had become a 2-time double champion.
Number 11 and number 12, the Big Boss Man and Ken Shamrock, Hardcore Champion, Intercontinental Champion and World Tag Team Champions, 14th of December 1998. Another 2-for-1 entry here. The Big Boss Man had recently returned to the WWF in 1998 and captured the Hardcore Championship. UFC legend Ken Shamrock was one of the toughest men in the company, was also the reigning Intercontinental Champion. Both men had joined the corporation and in doing so became double champions in the same night when they captured the World Tag Team titles as well.
Number 13, D'Lo Brown, Intercontinental Champion and European Champion, 27th July 1999. A former member of the Nation of Domination, D'Lo Brown had begun to establish himself as a singles competitor. First winning the European title, Brown would also capture the IC title from Jeff Jarrett and in doing so, became the first of 3 superstars to be dubbed the Euro Continental Champion. Number 14, Jeff Jarrett, European Champion and Intercontinental Champion, 22nd August 1999. The man that lost the IC title to D'Lo Brown, Jeff Jarrett was on a mission to get his championship back by any means necessary. Challenging Brown for both his titles at SummerSlam 1999, Double J would become the second Euro Continental Champion thanks to an assist from Mark Henry. Jarrett's time as a double champion would be short as he would award the European title to Henry the very next night on Raw as thanks for his help.
Number 15, Kurt Angle, European Champion and Intercontinental Champion, 27 February 2000. Having one of the greatest rookie years in the history of WWE, Kurt Angle would capture the European title in February 2000. That same month at No Way Out, Angle would win the IC title from Chris Jericho as well. The final Eurocontinental Champion, Angle would lose both the European title to Chris Jericho and the Intercontinental title to Chris Benoit at WrestleMania 2000 in a 2 out of 3 falls match where he did not get pinned in either fall.
Number 16 and number 17, the two-man power trip, WWF Champion, Intercontinental Champion, and World Tag Team Champions, 20th April 2001. At WrestleMania 17, Steve Austin would shock the world when he aligned with Vince McMahon to win the WWF Championship. The next night on Raw, he would form the two-man power trip with his long-time nemesis, Triple H. The game would also win the IC title before teaming with Austin to challenge the Brothers of Destruction for the World Tag Team Championships at Backlash 2000. Winning the match to both become double champions each, Austin and Triple H had a WWF title scene in the palm of their hand.
Number 18, Chris Jericho, Hardcore Champion and World Tag Team Champion, 28th May 2001. On the 21st of May 2001, Chris Jericho teamed up with Chris Benoit to take the World Tag Team titles away from the two-man power trip and put an end to their reign of terror. The next week on Raw, Y2J would defeat the Big Show for the Hardcore Championship to become a double champion in the process. However, due to the Hardcore titles 24/7 rule, Jericho would lose it to Rhino mere minutes after winning the belt, making him the shortest ever double champion in WWE history. Number 19, Booker T, WCW Champion and WCW United States Champion, 24th June 2001. When WCW had its final episode of Nitro, Booker T would reign as the Fallen Company's World Champion and US Champion. After Vince McMahon purchased his rival company, Booker would make his WWF debut at King of the Ring 2001 and continue his reign as a double champion from his time in WCW. Booker would remain a double champion until the 26th of July 2001 episode of SmackDown where he would give the US title to Chris Kanyon. Number 20, Kanyon, WCW United States Champion and World Tag Team Champion, 7th of August 2001. After being awarded the US Championship by Booker T and now calling himself the MVP of the Alliance, Kanyon would become a double champion when he teamed up with Diamond Dallas Page to capture the WWF's World Tag Team Championships. Although he would quickly lose the tag titles at SummerSlam 2001, Kanyon would hold the distinction of being the first person to simultaneously hold the WCW and WWF title.
Number 21, X-Pac, WCW Cruiserweight Champion, WWF Light Heavyweight Champion, 19 August 2001. Another entry from the Invasion, WWF Superstar X-Pac would win the WCW Cruiserweight title. At SummerSlam 2001, X-Pac captured the WWF Light Heavyweight Championship from Tajiri. Defending both belts separately, X-Pac would lose the Cruiserweight title to Billy Kidman before taking time off for an injury. Among the few titles to not be unified during the Invasion, X-Pac returned in 2002 with the Light Heavyweight title having been quietly deactivated.
Number 22 and number 23, the Brothers of Destruction, WCW Tag Team Champions and World Tag Team Champions, 19th of August 2001. When not fighting one another, The Undertaker and Kane made for one of the most dominant tag teams in WWE history. Fortunately, they were firmly on the same page during the Invasion. Defeating Chuck Palumbo and Sean O'Haire for the WCW Tag Team titles, the Brothers of Destruction sought to win back their own company's tag belts from DDP and Kanyon at SummerSlam. Coming up victorious, Undertaker and Kane would not unify the two sets of tag belts and instead reign as double champions.
Number 24, Chris Jericho, WCW Champion and World Tag Team Champion, 22nd October 2001. One of the most prominent former WCW wrestlers to not join the alliance, Chris Jericho would face The Rock at No Mercy 2001 and successfully dethrone the People's Champ to become WCW champion. The next night on Raw, the two rivals would team up and defeat the Dudley Boyz to capture the World Tag Team titles. This made Y2J the only person to become a double champion twice within the same year.
Number 25, Test. Intercontinental Champion and World Tag Team Champion, 5th November 2001. One of the few WWF superstars to defect over to the Alliance, Test certainly found his share of success from switching sides. Teaming up with Booker T, Test would become one half of the World Tag Team Champions. Truly doing his part for the Alliance, Test would capture another WWF Championship when he defeated Edge for the IC title and became a double champion in the process.
Number 26, Kane. Intercontinental Champion and World Tag Team Champion, 30th September 2002. Moving on from the invasion, Kane spent the latter half of 2002 on an absolute tear. After returning from injury, the Big Red Machine would capture the World Tag Team titles with the Hurricane. Kane would later dethrone Chris Jericho to win the IC title as well as held both belts at the same time. Perhaps his most memorable moment during his reign as a double champion was when Kane single-handedly defended the tag belts during TLC 4 on Raw.
Number 27, Eddie Guerrero, United States Champion and WWE Tag Team Champion, 18 September 2003. No stranger to both singles and tag titles, Eddie Guerrero would defeat Chris Benoit at Vengeance 2003 to become the latest holder of a newly reactivated United States title. Despite this, Latino Heat would not neglect his tag team ambitions and captured the WWE Tag Team titles with his nephew Chavo on SmackDown, sometimes showing that it does pay off to lie, cheat and steal.
Number 28, Chris Benoit. World Heavyweight Champion and World Tag Team Champion, 19th April 2004. 2004 was the year Chris Benoit moved from the mid-card to the main event. Winning that year's Royal Rumble, Benoit would win the World Heavyweight Championship in the main event of WrestleMania 20. The following month, Benoit would team with Edge to defeat Evolution members Batista and Ric Flair for the World Tag Team Championships, thus making him a double champion in the process.
Number 29, Batista. World Heavyweight Champion and WWE Tag Team Champion, 16th of December 2005. Like Chris Benoit the year before him, Batista would win the Royal Rumble and then the World Heavyweight Championship in the main event of WrestleMania 21. After being drafted to SmackDown, Batista would team up with Rey Mysterio to defeat Eminem for the WWE Tag Team Championships, thus making a very successful transition from one brand to another for the Animal.
Number 30, Rob Van Dam, WWE Champion and ECW Champion, 13 June 2006. At WrestleMania 22, Rob Van Dam won the Money in the Backlund match, choosing to cash in against John Cena at One Night Stand 2006. RVD would win the WWE Championship. On the first episode of the relaunched ECW, Paul Heyman would offer to replace the WWE title with a newly revived ECW Championship. However, RVD chose to defend both belts separately. This makes him only the first of two double world champions on this list.
Number 31, John Cena, WWE Champion and World Tag Team Champion, 29th of January 2007. After winning the WWE Championship and getting drafted to Raw in 2005, John Cena had become the face of WWE. By 2007, Cena had a firm grasp of both the WWE title scene and the main event scene. Scheduled to defend his belt against the legendary Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 23, the two rivals would find themselves on the same side as they became World Tag Team Champions, adding yet another belt to Cena's already dominant run.
Number 32, MVP. United States Champion and WWE Tag Team Champion, 20th of August 2007. In 2007, MVP was in the midst of one of the longest ever reigns as WWE United States Champion. At the time, he was also in a rivalry with Matt Hardy where the two would compete in various challenges against each other. The two enemies would then find themselves competing for the WWE Tag titles. Surprisingly, they won the belts. Despite not getting along, the two actually functioned well as a team, but eventually, their rivalry would cost them the titles and prolong their feud with each other.
Number 33, The Miz, United States Champion and Unified Tag Team Champion, 8th of February 2010. After getting drafted to Raw in 2009, The Miz would adopt a more serious attitude and quickly achieve single success. Winning the US title, the Awesome One's search for gold was not yet complete. Aligning himself with the Big Show, the duo would dethrone D-Generation X for the Unified Tag Team titles and made Miz the only superstar to carry 3 physical WWE belts. Number 34, The Miz again, WWE Champion and WWE Tag Team Champion, 21st of February 2011. After losing the Unified Tag titles, Miz would win Money in the Bank, cashing it in successfully to become the WWE Champion and finding himself in a feud with John Cena leading up to the main event of WrestleMania 27. Cena and Miz would team up and defeat the Core for the WWE Tag Team Championships, making Miz a 2-time double champion. However, the duo's inability to work together ended up causing them to lose the belts mere minutes later.
Number 35, Paige, NXT Women's Champion and Divas Champion, 7th April 2014. An important part of the early days of NXT, Paige made a name for herself as the first ever NXT Women's Champion. The night after WrestleMania 30, however, she will make a main roster debut, challenging AJ Lee for the Divas title and winning it from her on the first day on Raw, initially hoping to defend both her belts. Paige chose to relinquish her NXT Women's title at the urging of NXT General Manager JBL.
Number 36, Seth Rollins, WWE Champion and United States Champion, 23rd of August 2015. After betraying the Shield and joining the Authority, Seth Rollins' fortunes had changed for the better. Winning Money in the Bank, Rollins would cash it in successfully to become WWE Champion at WrestleMania 31. The Architect would soon cross paths with United States Champion John Cena, and at SummerSlam 2015, the two would face each other with both men's titles on the line. Thanks to some help from Jon Stewart, Rollins would defeat Cena for his first of 3 runs as a double champion.
Number 37, Adam Cole, NXT North American Champion and NXT Tag Team Champion, 7th of April 2018. Making his debut alongside Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly, Adam Cole led the Undisputed Era throughout a dominant run in NXT. When Fish suffered an injury, Cole would then take his place as NXT Tag Team Champion alongside O'Reilly. NXT TakeOver New Orleans, Cole would then become the first ever NXT North American Champion and would successfully defend the tag titles later that same night, establishing himself as a double champion in the process.
Number 38, Seth Rollins, Intercontinental Champion and Raw Tag Team Champion, 22nd of October 2018. At WrestleMania 34, Seth Rollins won the IC title and became a Grand Slam champion in the process. However, he would soon find himself tormented by the duo of Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre. Reuniting with his former Shield brother Dean Ambrose, Rollins would become a 2-time double champion when he and Ambrose defeated Ziggler and McIntyre for the Raw Tag Team titles. Despite their win, Ambrose would attack Rollins after the match, forcing him to defend the tag titles alone. While he would lose the Raw Tag Team titles the very next week to AOP, we at least got this cool shot of Rollins holding these 3 belts.
Number 39, Becky Lynch, Raw Women's Champion and SmackDown Women's Champion, 8th of April 2019. By 2017, Becky Lynch began having a shift in attitude, despite taking a more aggressive and villainous approach. Lynch's new attitude also brought her newfound popularity. Now calling herself the Man, Lynch would win the Royal Rumble and challenged for both the Raw and SmackDown Women's Championship at the main event of WrestleMania 35. Winning both belts, Lynch would not unify them and instead defended them separately as a double world champion.
Number 40, Seth Rollins, Universal Champion and Raw Tag Team Champion on 19th of August 2019. In his second run as WWE Universal Champion, Seth Rollins found himself in a feud with Braun Strowman. Set to defend his title against the Monster Among Men at Clash of Champions, the two friendly rivals would also win the Raw Tag titles together. Despite respecting one another, tensions over the Universal title affected their teamwork and the duo would lose the belts on the same night that they were meant to fight each other over the Universal Championship.
Number 41, Bayley, SmackDown Women's Champion and Women's Tag Team Champion, 26th of May 2020. By 2019, Bayley had a change in attitude, turning from a beloved babyface into a vicious heel. Winning the SmackDown Women's title, Bayley would then reunite with Sasha Banks. The two would then capture the Women's Tag Team Championships, renaming themselves from the Boss and Hug connection to the Golden Role Models and making Bayley a double champion.
Number 42, Keith Lee, NXT North American Champion and NXT Champion, 1st of July 2020. Quickly making a name for himself in NXT with his size, charisma and athleticism, Keith Lee was on the fast track to success. Winning the NXT North American Championship, Lee wanted to prove that he was indeed limitless when he challenged Adam Cole for the NXT title. Lee would end Cole's record-breaking NXT title reign and became a double champion. Not wanting to take opportunities away from other NXT superstars, however, Lee chose to vacate the North American title and focus solely on defending the NXT Championship.
Number 43, Sasha Banks, Raw Women's Champion and Women's Tag Team Champion, 27th July 2020. Turning her back on the WWE Universe and winning the Women's Tag titles with Bayley, Sasha Banks would then follow in her partner's footsteps and become a double champion when she defeated Asuka for the Raw Women's Championship. Holding all 4 major women's belts, the Golden Role Models became the first team since the 2-man power trip to hold all championships in their division.
Number 44, Asuka, Raw Women's Champion and Women's Tag Team Champion, 20th December 2020. By 2020, Asuka had already established a decorated career for herself. Having recently recaptured the Raw Women's title from Sasha Banks at SummerSlam, Asuka would then align with her former rival, Charlotte Flair. At TLC 2020, the duo would capture the Women's Tag Team Championships, making the Empress of Tomorrow a double champion and adding yet another accolade to an already legendary career. Number 45 and number 46, The Usos, SmackDown Tag Team Champions and Raw Tag Team Champions, 20th May 2022. Closing this list with another doubleheader, we have one of the most decorated tag teams in WWE history. Winning tag gold throughout a decade-long run, the Usos are once again the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Jimmy and Jay would then challenge RK-Bro for their Raw Tag Team titles in what was supposed to be a unification match. Winning the undisputed tag titles for the Bloodline, the Usos would still continue to defend each belt separately from time to time. The fact that no other undisputed tag team champions will repeat this feat speaks volumes to the Usos' unrivaled ability as a tag team.